I'm Cody Williams.
I'm Justin Williams.
I'm Kathy Williams.
Mark Williams.
I'm sure that didn't screw up anything.
And I'm Kara Rossman.
And you are?
I'm Steve Young, here to give you guys a speech. Alright guys, thanks for coming today. My topic is about steroids, but I'm going to put a little different view on it than the normal steroids are bad. And I wouldn't say that I condone steroids, I would never condone steroids, but I just want to see, or I want to show a point of view that not many people bring up. I want to show like what actually goes through a player's head when they decide to take steroids, the pressures they take when they decide to actually do them. First we got to discuss what taking steroids will do to a player, what advantages they'll get, that kind of thing. You got to understand there's several different types of steroids, right? Like you're not just going to build massive amounts of muscle as soon as you take steroids. There's all sorts of different types, like a recovery type, stamina types. The recovery type is pretty well known because of Roger Clemens, one of the most well-known cases. I'll show you guys a couple of pictures. Can you see that on there? Okay. So this is Roger Clemens, 1986. This is Roger Clemens in 2006. Difference? Anybody?
No, absolutely not.
No? I mean, there's obviously almost 30 years, so there's going to be some difference, but not a whole lot, right? Because he took steroids for recovery, not for muscle building, which means he takes them, boost your stamina so you can recover faster. Because he pitched every 5 days, so you take it right after you pitch, then you're ready to go for the next one. But the main steroids that everybody talks about is the muscle building steroids, and they were made famous in baseball by the most well-known case. It's actually still not proven, and that's Barry Bonds, right? Again, 1980s to 2000s. A little bit of a difference, correct?
Still not.
Right. Again, it's almost 30 years, so you could possibly put on that much weight, but I would venture to say not. So what advantages would taking steroids actually do for a player? Well, it's undetermined, but you obviously have to have talent to begin with, right? I mean, USA Today did a poll of the 10 hardest things to do in sports, and the #1 hardest thing on that list was to hit a major league fastball. You have less than 3/10 of a second to decide to swing. And that's quicker than that. You have 3/10 of a second to decide to swing in the right place, put the barrel on the ball, and then you have to hit it 300 and some odd feet. So you still have to be good, but I think what steroids do, the advantage they will give you is they'll add an extra 20 or 30 feet to a fly ball. So a fly ball is normally a pop-up, turns into a home run. So that adds, 10 to 15 home runs a year, I would say. All right, so let's talk about why a player would take steroids. If you're a player, if you're this young like Barry Bonds is, he's in his early 20s, right? He just comes up, signs a big paycheck. I mean, he's got enormous pressure to prove himself, right? And he's got all these older players that have already been there, they're already proven it. You're playing 162 games, you're going to be sore, you're going to be hurt. So he feels enormous pressure just to fit in, or just to do good. So, I mean, I can understand taking steroids there. And obviously, in the late 90s, early 2000s, when home runs, chicks dig the long ball kind of thing, when home runs filled the seats, it was a no-brainer. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, these guys hitting 400-foot home runs, people would come to see them. So they come to see you hit home runs, you want to obviously keep hitting home runs, so you're going to get all jacked up and hit home runs. I can see that. If you hit, 50, 60 home runs a year, that's a huge paycheck. More money, more runs, more wins, it kind of adds up. So again, all in all, I would never condone taking steroids, but maybe I can understand why a player would want to do it and want to try to get that advantage. I mean, there's 32 teams and 50-some players on each team, so the odds are not in your favor. But you know, I can understand it in the long run. So think about it. Thanks, guys.
It's on the top. Or wait, where are your